overnight. Let me say this about, child support and the court system and how men are being unfairly criticized, fairly attacked, I believe, and targeted. It's easy, again, for society to, hold men accountable. As I said earlier in the stream, when it comes to women, they want to hold both parties accountable. They don't want to give women 100% accountability because most modern women are useful idiots. They push liberal agendas. Like I seen this one female on TikTok, this white liberal woman. She's talking about how, liberal men are not traditional enough. And she wants a traditional man who's not a conservative. That's why you are single now. A lot of you non-traditional women, this is a side note, a lot of you non-traditional women, y'all are the types to do shit like this. Y'all are the types to lie about the father of your children. You out here screwing multiple men at once with no protection. And you will then use the system to attack that man for his money or because you just hate him, right? Or because you hate him. But have y'all noticed that, and then let's get back to this TikTok heifer. How are you a liberal woman, but you want a traditional man? I'm sorry. Liberals don't know the thing about traditionalism. You see, as she said in her videos, she wants to have her cake and eat it too, right? That's the thing. That's why you liberal women are struggling now when it comes to relationships. You want to have your cake and you want to be able to eat it too, right? Well, that's not going to happen, okay? Because men are wisening up and men are fighting back. We're tired of your BS. And that's why you're seeing laws like this potentially going into effect. This according to Local 3 News, as y'all can see. Tennessee bill will make it illegal to falsely accuse someone of being baby's father. A new bill introduced to the Tennessee General Assembly would make it a crime to falsely accuse someone of being a child's parent. The bill, known as HBO 253 and SBO 331, passed the state Senate unanimously on March 20th. That's the day of my birthday. Shout out to Devon.
Let us not stop with repping the men's rights movement.
Make sure y'all like the stream, man. The bill would make it a misdemeanor when a person commits parentage fraud. It needs to be more than a misdemeanor because you're playing with people's livelihoods. You know how many men have lost jobs and been to jail over child support? How many men have been destroyed over child support? There are men who are getting in trouble with the law over child support when the child ain't even theirs and the woman knows this. Parentage fraud is when a person fraudulently claims that the victim is the biological parent of a child or fraudulently seeks to be legally established as a child's parent based on the child's status as a biological parent of the child. The bill creates a new class, a misdemeanor offense of parentage fraud for a person who does the following. 1, seeks to legally establish the individual as a biological parent of a child in the person's custody with intent to deprive the individual of property or to prevent the child from actual biological parent from exercising parental rights to the child. The person knows or reasonably should know that the individual is not the child's biological parent, or 2, seeks to legally establish as a child's parent based on the person's status as a biological parent of the child, and the person knows or reasonably should know that the person is not the child's biological father. Okay? So that is what not passed through the state Senate unanimously. Not just waiting on the, I guess the to get it all the way through. Right? Yeah, it should definitely be a felony. But I mean, it's a misdemeanor, but it should be a felony. This is a problem. This is a problem that people don't seem to understand, is that women have taken advantage of child support for decades. There are men right now raising children that aren't theirs. They are out here raising children that aren't theirs. Now, these are the provisions. They say, however, as y'all can see, The provisions above do not apply in the following situation. So there's provisions there. All right. What's up, Nick? It says an act to amend, or shout out to Nick T, conservative. Salute to everybody that's here. Now, these are the provisions. It says an act to amend Tennessee Code annotated Title 36 and Title 39 relative to parentage fraud, wherever a parent has a fundamental right to be involved in the lives of the parent's children, and wherever a child should know the identity of the child's parent for many reasons, including but not limited to allowing the child to learn about the family's medical history and benefiting from inheritance laws. Now, therefore, be it enacted by the General Assembly of the State of Tennessee, Section 1, Tennessee Code, and noted Title 39, Chapter 14, Part 1, is amended by adding the following as a new section. A person commits parentage fraud who one seeks to legally establish the individual. I already went through all that. Shout out to Eric Square.
Yeah, let this be the stepping stone to hold women accountable for this, and whatever
Yes.
was paid in child support or jail time served be given to them. Don't cry for equal rights. Also, time wasted isn't appreciated in the courts.
Appreciate that. Absolutely. These people should be charged with parentage fraud. You're wasting my time, my money, and you're wasting these government officials' time. It should be a felony, and you should be able to go to jail. Because way too many heifers are comfortable lying about paternity. Way too many of them are comfortable lying about paternity. And that's the problem that we have in society. Too many of you heifers are comfortable putting the child on somebody that you know ain't the father. See, this is a step in holding men accountable, at least in the state of Tennessee. It passed through the Senate unanimously. I'm pretty sure that it could become into law in the state of Tennessee, but more states should do this. You so-called conservatives in these conservative states, you need to be following suit, because ain't no Democrat. Now, they say it was unanimous, so maybe there were Democrats who agreed with this. I'm pretty sure there are Democrats who agree with this, but there's a contingent of women and you males that are not going to like this, because it takes the power out of the hands of women. And we all know that women are drunk on power. They want power by any means. They will lie. They will cheat in order to get it. They'll sleep their way to the top, whatever it takes to get power, especially over other human beings. That is what they're going to do. And what this Tennessee law is looking to do is to shut that down. And they should absolutely shut this down. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna put the link in the chat room too, so y'all can go and check it out. But this is definitely a W, especially in the state of Tennessee. Why isn't Florida doing this? Everybody praising Ron DeSantis. Why isn't this trying to get pushed through? Hey, conservatives, if you're in a conservative state, even you got some center-leaning Democrats, all men, especially, and some of you women as well, y'all should be agreeing with this, because it hurts you too. A lot of you women who married these men with kids who got to pay child support, I know y'all hate that money going out the house. Y'all should be in agreement on this. The only people that ain't gonna like this is these broke heifers, your average everyday feminist who wants power no matter how she gets it. They are the type of people who are not going to agree with this. But I think this is a good step in the right direction. Shout out to I think every state should definitely do mandatory DNA tests. But again, they want to minimize. They know that if you DNA test a lot of these kids, some of these kids are going to come back to not being the father, not being, from the father, that the woman is with. So if that woman is with a guy, he does a mandatory DNA test, and it comes back that he's not the father, it's going to cause an uproar. And they can't let these women take L's. They need somebody to be responsible for the child support. I think the courts get a kick out of forcing men to go in their courtrooms and beg for leniency when it comes to child support. I think they get a kick out of that because it puts men in check. Men aren't out there building. Men aren't out there saving. Men are stuck in child support court. They're distracted, and I think they want men to be distracted. I think they want men to be distracted. I think they want men to not be focused. They want men to be fearful of going to child support court. If you have mandatory DNA tests, I'm telling you right now, what it's going to expose is that a lot of these women are out here sleeping with multiple men at the same time, and they are putting the child on the most responsible parent who can pay child support. Because trust me, that woman don't want to be with you. She wants your child support check so she can go be with the men that she actually wants to be with. Look at Tyrese. I think Tyrese is a perfect example of a situation where his wife doesn't want him, but his ex-wife wants his money to take care of her while she goes and dates other men, right? That she actually wants to be with. While Tyrese is taking care of her financially. That's what she wants. And that's what's going on out here. A lot of these women are out here putting the babies on the men that they know can pay child support, because the broke men that they usually deal with can't pay no child support. Right. Women do have a lot of forms of birth control. But again, society does not want to hold women accountable. Society only wants men to be held accountable for these things. They don't want to hold men accountable. They want to put all the emphasis on they don't want to hold women accountable. They want to put all the emphasis on men paying child support, being the responsible parent. Meanwhile, the children are being raised by some dysfunctional woman who's on a power trip, who wants to use those children against the father. This is where we're at. And Tennessee is looking to do something about it. I think more states need to. I think women should be forced to take drug tests. If you're getting child support, you should be able to take drug tests. You should have monthly visits, because a lot of these women have their children in poor conditions, but the state still gives them full custody when the father could easily take care of that child on their own. That's the thing. Why would you give the children to the struggling parent? Why would you give the children to a struggling parent? I never understood that. If the man can financially take care of his kids, why don't you put them with the kids? You always want to put the kids with the mother. Women are nurturers, but that nurturing goes out the window when she's a single parent, when she has to work and take care of the kids. So how is she a better parent than that man? But they have convinced the world that women are actually the better parents when they are not.